I hate the phantom drip. Welcome to Grumble Goat. I'm Veronique Hurley. This is a show about all the small things that drive Matt insane. This week, it's my grumble. Let's grumble. You know what I mean. So you go to your local coffee shop. It's your favorite place. You love their bagels and you get a cup of coffee and they put that lid on it and you grab it and you are on your way out and you are excited about your day. You got your coffee and you got your bagel and cream cheese and you're walking, you're enjoying the sun. The sun is shining on your face and everything is great. But then you're halfway down the block and you feel something. You feel a drip down the inner part of your thumb, down to your wrist. And you think to yourself, oh, am I spilling something? No, it's not. The lid is on the coffee. There looks to be no spillage around, and yet there's a drip. So you're like, oh, okay, all right. So maybe it's splashed out of the lid, right? There's a little entryway that you can sip the coffee, and you feel it again. Except this time, it's a little bit more of a drip because now you already have a pathway of liquid. And then as you keep walking, that it keeps dripping. And at that exact same spot on your hand, you feel a wet drip. But you can't find a hole in the coffee. And you can't understand exactly why that keeps happening, this phantom drip. But yet the drip is real, but where is it coming from? Now, I've thought about the lid, right? So now like a diner style lid, that flat lid that has the lip, the classic lid, that's my preferred lid because they have two different types. So the phantom drip lid is the other lid that has this little tiny hole for the liquid to pop out. And it's the height. There's like a height in the lid. Now, I don't understand why anyone can really feel satisfied drinking out of a lid like that, but every time you go to your local coffee shop and they have that kind of lid, you can expect a phantom drip, and it's very irritating. Anyway, I have also noticed that when I get my normal lid, the flat lid with the lip, I do tend to spill it on my hand anyway, but at least I purposefully accidentally spilled on myself instead of the phantom drip. I hate the phantom drip, and that's the grumble.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
What?
Grumble, 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 grumble. What's got your goat?
For the latter half of the show, we'll bring in my lesser half, Matt, for a pretentious look, and a segment we call
What's got your goat?
Here we go. It's my grumble this evening.
It's your grumble?
I know.
Well, what did you grumble about?
What? I can't tell you.
Oh, it's my job to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm understanding.
For everyone who's tuning in, Matt does not know what the grumble is.
Yeah, that's the general dynamic, is whoever does the grumble doesn't tell the other person, and then
we figure it out.
We figure it out.
Oh
yeah.
My gosh, we're quite the team.
It's like a sleuthing mission.
Yeah. We can figure anything out.
Mat and Ver's mysteries.
Oh, but Veronique is so nice. So Mat and Veronique's mystery.
Matthew and Veronique's mystery. Vermat mysteries?
Or would it be Vermurd mysteries?
Murder mysteries.
Verdmurder mysteries.
Vermurger.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, you have questions? Oh, we're just diving into a question.
I am prepared.
The first question is just like, how you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
No, hanging in there.
Okay.
Yeah. I got my things.
Anyway, do you like coffee?
I feel like you know this about me.
Yes.
I do drink coffee, and I tend to drink way too much coffee.
You actually like instant coffee, don't you?
Well, hold on.
I know. Now he feels like he needs to defend the instant coffee.
I am a coffee lover.
Which I think you do.
And I love all sorts of coffee. I love the Dunkin' coffee.
Oh, I like Dunkin'.
I love little independent coffee shops. I dislike the Starbucks. I think they double roast their coffee and it tastes burnt.
Yeah, it tastes a little
It's the only coffee that I can't drink without cream.
Yes.
It's nasty. And I think they do that on purpose because I think the clients that they're aiming at are the people that use heavy cream.
Yeah. But their cold brew, that I have without cream. I just have that black.
Cold brew's great. Yeah.
Yes. Really good coffee. You really shouldn't need to add any cream to it, right?
But it says you.
I love my oat milk.
Yeah, because you do the cream, you do the oat milk. It seems like you rarely have coffee without something in it.
Cold brew, I've made the transition. I've made the transition into adulthood. I can have black coffee. It tastes fine. But you actually were a good person in my transition experience because you drink black coffee.
Yes.
Black instant coffee specifically.
Well, I mean, I don't know why you're harping on instant unless that's your
just
Grumble.
because it's instant coffee. I mean, there's so many other ways to drink coffee. You could have a cold press. You could do like,
now, the
you
thing
know
is,
what I mean? Like espresso.
Okay, you're calling me out. Now I have to address this. I love coffee, but coffee is something that I drink so much of that the cleanup becomes impractical when I have it in any other form. Like I have 2 French press machines.
You have a day that supports the instant coffee.
So the French press, you get 2 or 3 glasses of coffee out of, and then you have to clean out the muck and then rinse it and then remake the thing. So at some point along the line, I discovered the instant coffee, and all I need is my tea kettle. And I discovered it after the French press where I needed the tea kettle for. The caffeine content is so much lower in instant coffee that I can drink 18 cups of coffee in a day and it doesn't drive me insane. And I can just relax into that.
Okay. Now, because you like the taste of coffee so much, do you find yourself going out to coffee shops?
Whenever I'm out and about walking, I love to have a coffee in my hand.
I know, it's nice.
If I'm walking down 8th Avenue, I want a coffee in my hand. If I'm walking through Fort Tyrion, I want a cold brew in my hand.
Yes, a nice summer day.
Yeah, it's a part of the being outdoors experience.
And since you like coffee so much, that means you've probably like local coffee shops.
Yeah,
like
I prefer the local coffee shop. I like to get the flavor of a town by going to
I
the
like
coffee
to
shop.
support the small businesses. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Which is
and
really
they
fun.
also unlike Starbucks, they don't have that corporate smile and treat everybody like your best friends and it's the best day ever. No, what I love about the independent coffee shop is the person behind the counter is usually like, what?
They're authentic.
Yeah.
Amazing. So when you've gotten this coffee at these local businesses.
I don't like it when I go to a local independent place.
Yeah.
And they're too hoity-toity. And they're like, we don't have drip coffee.
Ew.
We can make you an Americano. And I'm like, you're a coffee shop.
Bougie. Okay, so when you've gotten said coffee, say this is a hot coffee, have you ever experienced wetness on your wrist?
Oh my gosh. You're talking about the phantom drip. You're talking about when the lid drips.
Yes, the liquid somehow seeps through the lid.
Because
I don't know how it does it.
What happens is this molded plastic lid
Yes.
that fits perfectly on the cup.
Perfectly on the cup.
But the cup is made of paper. So there's a seam on the cup.
I support the paper cup, but I'm like, there's a seam there.
There's a seam on the cup.
How
and then
come
at the top where it rolls together.
That's right.
That creates a small little divot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. And now I've looked at the cup and I'm like, okay, is it because it's the seam? No, sometimes it doesn't come from the seam of the cup.
Yes. No, I think that's the originator of wherever the seal is failing. And then maybe like wherever you lean it, that's where the drip will come down.
Now, I never understand how so much liquid could accumulate in that one little spot.
And sometimes it's a triple drip.
Oh, triple drip.
Sometimes it's like every time you lean the cup back, it's like a drip, drip, drip.
What is that? And you know, I've noticed that it only comes from the lids that have that heightened lid. Not
What do
the
you mean
flat, not the flat lids.
Oh, the flat lid.
Not the flat lids, the other lids.
Right. Because now you're onto something.
I
Because
know.
that flat lid exposes a part of the rolled top of the paper cup.
Exactly. So it has a place to leak
So
out.
it all just leaks right into your mouth.
Exactly. So you know if you're going to spill your coffee, you're going to do it on your own terms.
Yeah.
Okay. Like what's worse, the phantom drip or actually spilling your own coffee on yourself?
I mean, honestly, spilling your coffee on yourself, I think, is the worst thing.
I'm not so sure. Because if I expect it.
You expected to spill coffee on yourself?
Well, I'm just saying the odds are I may spill
knowing
coffee
you,
on myself.
yeah, you could expect to spill coffee on
Right.
yourself.
Well, that's why I like it at
The
Starbucks.
phantom drip is annoying because it's not your fault.
That's
for
what
one.
I'm saying. I can't take ownership on the drip. You know, maybe that's what it is. The years of therapy.
You know, it's interesting because I think the paper coffee cup
Okay.
harkens back to like the old courthouse vending machine that like slips a little paper cup down
Fun.
there. And then you put a quarter in the machine and it slips
Sure.
the paper cup down because it's a cheap option.
Okay.
But if you go to a modern coffee shop, a cup of coffee is going to start at $3.25.
I know.
It's not cheap. You're not putting a quarter in a vending machine.
It's not $2 anymore, that's for sure.
So if we're putting all this money down, why are the coffee cups still the cheap paper?
I know. Well, here's the thing. I think they want us to bring our own.
No, but if they're going to charge us, they owe us a vessel to put it in.
They absolutely do. You can't charge that much if you don't have a cup.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be. Yeah, what are you going to do? Hold out your hands? You get blisters.
More coffee. Hotter, please.
You want more? There's not like a cheap little silicone cup that can hold.
It doesn't matter because the cardboard, they're waxed on the inside because you put liquid in them.
Right, they're waxed. They're not recyclable.
So they're not recyclable. It doesn't matter. You can't recycle it. So what about like corn?
Corn only works for cold beverages. So if you want your iced coffee, corn is great. Corn can make a plastic that's great.
That's right. The corn straws, like if they get hot, it literally disintegrates in front of you.
if you hold it between your fingers for too long, it'll start to melt, change its shape.
Yes.
Yeah. Coffee's been around for a long time.
Oh, a long time. But tea, I think, has been around longer. I don't know. Cocoa beans, what are they used for?
Cocoa beans? They're used for chocolate.
What are caffeine beans called?
Coffee beans.
Coffee beans. Right. Well, you know what it is. It's because I was thinking of cocaine. So like a cocoa bean, I think of caffeine. A coffee bean.
Because of all the caffeine that's in cocaine.
Right. No, but that's the same feeling, right? Well, actually, I've never done cocaine.
Tell us
no,
about your
I've never done it.
But it gives you that same feeling of
I can only imagine that it is like speed. And I feel like speed is like a lot of caffeine.
Bamboo.
What?
That's what we should make coffee cups out of.
Yes, bamboo. What a great solution.
Grows faster than trees
Wait, but
do.
Do we need to wax the bamboo cups?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm not talking about global warming solutions. I'm talking about solutions to the phantom drip.
But that's the thing. We don't know how the drip happens and why.
Oh, you think it's a curse?
No.
We don't know why.
I've been cursed with the phantom drip.
A witch long ago placed a curse
on cocoa beans. The cocoa beans.
Okay, we've been over
this. No, that's the source of the coffee.
No, it's not.
You wouldn't have a
coffee beans.
I meant the coffee beans.
You know what's great on a hot day?
What?
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Now, ice cream.
Ooh, you have to keep licking it.
There's a phantom drip.
There is a phantom drip, and it's the heat.
So what do? You got to chase it with your tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always taught to go in a round motion so that you don't have that drip, which I don't know if is it a phantom drip if you see it coming. I don't know. Is to always lick on the outside.
So is that the trick for the coffee?
Ew, no, you'll cut your tongue if you go for the rim job.
How are you cutting your tongue?
Because the lid of the coffee is hard at the end. It's like a little house. The lid on the coffee is like a little house.
It's obviously all of us want to move into a coffee lid style house.
That's what I'm saying. The lid is the roof of the house, okay?
Where's the bathroom?
That's the lid. That's like the open part of the lid.
Okay.
It's the bathroom.
Where's the bedroom?
Well, there's only one room in the house. It's a studio.
Okay. And what's the wrong way? The one room is
ceilings.
all the coffee?
It's like the shoe. It reminds me of if you're going to put a house in a coffee cup.
The old lady in the shoe?
With the old lady in the shoe with the 7 children.
Yeah. You know, if she saved money by bringing her own coffee, give up the avocado toast and make your own coffee at home.
It wasn't the stilettos that she bought.
Yeah. You don't buy a stiletto.
You need a boot to have all those kids.
Coffee's been around for a long time.
Yes. Do you think that it would be used as a source of torture to have
the phantom drip?
Yeah.
You're talking about Chinese water torture.
Yeah.
But instead of water, it's scalding hot coffee being dripped on your forehead.
Oh, no, on your hand.
Do you know what Chinese water torture is?
I have no idea.
They would just have you lying down, just constantly drip water on your forehead.
Gosh.
You could never sleep because the water keeps dripping on your forehead.
Oh, my goodness.
Constantly have scalding hot coffee dripping on your forehead.
Yes.
Yeah, because it would keep you up and not because of the caffeine.
Yes.
Somebody, Pythagoras?
I've heard that name before, I think. Who is he?
He's a mathematician.
No, of course.
Created a coffee cup that had a series of tubes inside that as soon as you tried to take a sip out of it, it just poured the coffee on you.
What?
He invented the phantom coffee drip.
Why would you want to pour the coffee on you?
No, it was a prank.
Why would he do that? Who was he trying to prank?
Newton? I don't know.
Weird. That's so malicious, I feel.
Well, it's a prank. That's by definition, it's malicious.
Right.
Have you ever thought about throwing the phantom drip back on the barista that gave it to you?
No.
Have you ever tried asking the barista if like they'll give you a cup that doesn't drip?
I think they would look at me.
I think at that point they might be like, why don't you just bring your own then?
Probably. Or what if you said, I'll have a cup of coffee, but no phantom drip, please? They would be like, what is this lady talking about?
I love that. Can I get a margarita, but no hangover, please?
This has been a bonus episode of Grumble Goat.
Thanks for listening.
I'm Veronique Hurley.
I'm Matt Labodka. Please subscribe.
You hate when people say, please subscribe.
Grumble, 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 grumble. We don't have drip coffee.